Eastwood stars in Trouble with the Curve in a role he was born to play, a grisly, miserable old man. He plays Gus Lobel, an aging baseball scout for the Atlanta Braves who is charged with signing off on a new prospective rookie that the whole league is taking a look at. He is reluctantly joined by a former player, now turned scout himself, and his daughter Mickey, and together they make new discoveries about their shared past, which could change their future. What did you guys think of Trouble with the Curve?
It's a simple movie. It doesn't break any barriers. It's just very straightforward. It's one big cliche, but it works.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel. The writing I think is spectacular. And I mean, it's Eastwood. Eastwood acting like Eastwood.
Well, yeah. Eastwood's acting like any other old man, father, divorcee, I'm getting too old for this shit type person. I can see just fine. I'm not going blind. You're an idiot, doctor, and trying to fix my father daughter relationship, but I don't know how to fix it because I'm just trying to protect her and she doesn't understand. It's a whirlwind of emotions, like in the family world. Like I would say baseball is kind of like a backdrop in this movie.
Absolutely.
It's more of a family movie. It's
Mhm.
more of a rekindling of, trying to get the father daughter relationship back together and back to good old times and watching baseball and, trying to scout and all that kind of cool stuff.
See, and I think I've watched this probably. I'm pulling Eddie 37 times. No, I've probably watched it a good 10 times now, and I've come to the realization that this movie, Trouble with the Curve, is not obvious. It's obviously not. We call that Trouble with the Curve. At the end, we know that's not it. But every actor, every character in this film has a curveball thrown at them in life.
Hmm.
And
John's
you got
getting
Amy.
deep.
You got
Oh man,
Amy.
he is getting deep.
Well, I mean, you've got Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah.
His wife dies. He has to take care of his daughter. He finds some dude trying to mess with his daughter, and so he has to send her away. So that relationship is broken. That's his curveball, right? And it's trying to come back over the plate towards the end to repair that relationship. Amy Adams, she's thrown a curveball about the partnership. She's like, I went down this one path thinking this is what my dad wanted, and now the partnership's falling apart because of my dad. And now that's her curveball. You got the curveball with Justin Timberlake with his career, and he's like I'm going to go be a radio announcer, but then that falls apart. So everything tends to fall apart for everybody, and they all come back together in over home plate.
Ooh. Oh. They make it home all in one piece, and they
And
win.
scene.
They all win. They all win.
I think for me,
Except
my
for
favorite.
East when he has to ride the
yeah.
bus home.
Oh,
My favorite part about this. So I live in Atlanta, in like downtown area Atlanta, and so some of this is filmed there. So the thing that made me realize that is when they order pizza at the very start. Did you guys notice what pizza they order?
mm-mm.
Do you remember
Oh,
the scene?
yeah.
It's very early on when John Goodman's character goes to visit Clint Eastwood.
Breakfast.
Yeah, he
And they
orders
kind of
like
hint-
peppers
they-
and anchovies and something
But they
else.
hinted like he gives the pizza guy the wrong money. That's mellow mushroom pizza, and I was like, well,
Oh,
that
yeah.
and that made me
I
think,
didn't even
well,
notice
this
that.
Nice.
mellow mushroom's not like widely known, right? I was like, this must be in the South somewhere. And
Yeah.
then a couple minutes later, you find out, yeah, he works for the Braves.
Speaking about the pizza thing, so this kind of bothers me. Nobody I know has ever ordered anchovies on a pizza. I'm thinking this is just like a TV/film thing. Like nobody actually really does this shit.
Like it's a
Yeah.
myth. Like
Yeah, it's a myth. It's a thing they put into. It's like phone numbers in movies. They put 555, so it's not a real.
Right.
Nobody actually orders anchovies.
Did the Ninja Turtles start it? Because they're like the only
Oh,
people
that's right, they
I
did.
know that would order anchovies.
But
I
they
don't
eat
know.
fish.
But I think one night, if we watch like a bad movie, we should get like movie pizza. So we should get like all the toppings that all the movies get. So you get pepperoni, mushroom, and anchovies, and the pineapple.
I mean, I guess that's one way to make it so I don't eat the pizza. So if you want more pizza for you, then, you just,
We'll get a cheese pizza for you. It's okay.
If I were
According
to, I think if I were to describe this movie, though, I would use the word cliche to describe it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
That's
is.
like the
It is.
single word I would use to describe it is cliche.
It is.
Um,
It's not winning any originality
no.
awards. It's really not. But it works in the fact that it works because Clint Eastwood makes it work. I don't think
Yeah.
if anybody else was in that role, I don't think the story would have been as good, and I don't think that Amy Adams and Justin Timberlake would have been as good on screen.
Yeah, I like the relationship between Amy Adams and Clint Eastwood, and pretty much didn't like the relationship between any of the other characters. But that's the main relationship. So
Yeah.
One thing that threw me for a curveball.
Oh boy. Here we go.
can we have a counter with like baseball related puns?
Yeah, we
Curveball puns.
Yeah, we should. They didn't hit it out of the field with this one. It was
Oh God, I had a terrible idea. Please stop.
No,
The puns have to be right.
yeah, that's true. Struck out.
That joke was a swing and a miss.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. No, basically the one thing that kind of messed with me a little bit was he's very gruff with his daughter, and he pushes her away constantly in the 3/4 of the movie. Right? Why are you here? Get out of here! Let me call you a cab. Why are you here? 8 times. But then they show these little scenes with him. And he started, obviously he's wanting to reconnect with his daughter at that point, but then like literally the next scene, and I guess this is movieism, right? But in literally the next scene, he's like, "Why are you here? Get out of here!" It's like he doesn't act upon.
Well, I think he is actually just he's wanting her to actually have a successful life. He doesn't think that he's made it big, and he doesn't really want her to be stuck. Like, because all this was based off of her like potentially making partner, right? So he knows that she's potentially making partner, and then she arrives, and he's like, "What are you doing here? You have better things to do besides taking care of me because I don't need anybody's help. I've gotten this far in life. I don't need anybody's help." And I think it's just it's an ego thing. Everybody's got an ego in this, and I mean, especially in the baseball world, everybody on that baseball world had an ego. Except for Terminator, like the T-2000 or whatever his name is. What's his name? Robert Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something too about the baby boomer generation, right? Isn't it the baby boomer? No, the greatest generation.
Yeah.
Right. They're very proud people.
Yeah.
And they don't want help from anybody.
Right.
I'm fortunate to still have my grandmother. She's 87. And she's the same way. She's no, I don't need any help. Go away. It's fine. I'll cut the grass.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna get out there with your walker and cut the grass. I'll do it. We'll get it done for you, kind of thing. So they're very, very proud people, and I think he just exudes that in this towards his daughter. I don't need you. I am not important. You go away.
Yeah, and it's not that he didn't want to necessarily, make up and have a father like a nice strong relationship. He wanted her to actually have to finish her goals because she went to law school. She tried to make something of herself, and she's at that point of her level of success, and he knows that, and he doesn't want to necessarily bring her down. So
at this point, he doesn't know how.
Right, exactly.
He's pushed her away for so long that he just doesn't know.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to rekindle that. So it's just like, well, I don't need it. He's convinced himself he doesn't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's okay. Justin Timberlake will come by and make everyone feel better.
That's right.
Hey guys, what's up,
dude? There's a scene where it's ridiculous Hollywood stuff, right? There's a scene where him and Amy Adams go to the bar, and then everyone in the bar clapped at his joke or whatever. And I found that. Yeah.
What was the name of the player who had a 3-run homer to tie the game and take it into extra innings?
The 3-2 pitch. This one's hit deep to center, way back. Way back. This baby's got a chance. It's Gone! Home run! Bernie Carbo has just tied the game. Bernie Carbo has just tied the game. All right, that's...
It was hilarious. It was so tropish. It was just hilarious. And like also the trope of like they both jumped into a lake together, and wasn't a real big fan of the relationship between Amy Adams and Justin Timberlake. It just I mean,
Maybe it was
guess
because
he
she
was
was like
there-
5 or 6 or 7 years
Yeah.
older than he is.
He,
and
He
she was
was
like
there-
seeing a guy, and then she's all like, you know what, it's Justin Timberlake, I'm not seeing this guy anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
right, he was there to give her someone to talk to on the road to get her feels out. That's what it was. That's all that love story did.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the lake scene, the only thing I could think of is how are they not drowning? There's when they were kissing. It's,
Right?
Yeah, because
That's-
you would be kicking each other, man.
yeah.
I
One of
mean, you
my-
can tread in water. You're supposed to be able to hold yourself up, but I mean, poor Timberlake's holding both of them up with one arm. You're not that strong.
He wasn't
dude.
holding the movie up though. fortunately.
Oh, hey,
yeah.
home run.
So one of the
Knocked it out of the
minor complaints is you guys sometimes talk about the score for the movie, and
Mm,
probably
yeah.
the thing that got on my nerves the most is 50% of this movie has crazy melodramatic music playing in the backdrop.
Throw me that fastball.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite pitch?
And it's like I'm watching the CW or something. Did you notice how often they would play that melodramatic music in the
Yeah.
background?
I
Yeah,
did
and I
notice
thought
that.
it was
It
the
was
same one
absurd.
over and over,
Yep.
but it
I
wasn't.
did notice
okay.
that because I usually, put my ear down and start listening to the score. If there's like any type of like crescendoing music or something like that, and it's like, oh, I need to start paying attention to this because they're actually making an effort to put music in. Because music's difficult to do in movies, and sometimes like with this one, they just kind of overused music. It's like there didn't really need to be music in certain scenes.
What did you guys think of sleazy Matthew Lillard?
He's fine. I mean, I personally like Matthew Lillard, so it's when I saw him on screen, I was like, oh, there's Lillard there that haven't seen him in anything in a while, so it's
He
fine.
just does. The reason I ask because he's now. I mean, he's synonymous with Scooby,
Scooby-Doo.
right? So, but I mean, his sleazy character, his sleazy persona that he can dive into is pretty. I did not like the guy. The acting, yeah, the actor great, but the his character, man, I loathe that guy. Just dude, you're being mean to an old dude. What are you doing?
I liked him ever since I saw him in SLC Punk way back in like
Oh yeah.
early '90s.
No, he was the guy who Matthew Lillard was the guy who was talking about the stats. He's like, I don't need to go out there.
was he the GM of the team or something?
No,
Or
he
was
was
he
just
wanted
just
to
circling the
yeah.
He wanted to
scouting
be.
room?
He was. I think he was one of the. He was a scout. I think he worked for John Goodman.
Yeah, I think so.
Because John Goodman was the head of scouting, and he's like, I'm gunning for your job.
I
you
think
know?
Robert Patrick was the GM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Well, maybe Robert
Goodman.
Goodman,
John Goodman.
John Goodman. I don't think he was head of scouting because he would have just probably overruled Matthew Lillard, right? So they were probably equals in some way. That
Yeah.
they both had to go to Robert Patrick to get the
Some sort
sign
of
off.
exec. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
But-
then the Jack Gilpin, he was in the law firm. He's always the guy that his profile picture, I think, is from this movie, and he's always
You do a good impression. That's
but that's his profile picture on
Yeah, no,
IMDb. It's like
you nailed it. I'm not even being sarcastic.
oh wait, no, I forgot the frown.
Yeah, I liked the scenes
from
where
this
they're
movie.
in the room talking about the different scouts and the computers. Then you're kind of getting into like the Moneyball territory,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
that
made me
stuff I
think
re-
of.
Yeah, that stuff I really liked. But it's baseball in general is just a backdrop for this movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Clint Eastwood. I think it was John, right? That without Clint Eastwood, this wouldn't have been a good movie. I don't think. I mean, for somebody like him to be in there, he is the perfect person to play this role.
Yeah, and how about the kid they're scouting this entire time? He's playing with like ninth graders. Like, how good can this kid be when he's got like he's got like this tiny dude on his team? You know, he's like, you better get me on base so I can get a scholarship or whatever, or like a major career. It's like, why are you in a league with people like this?
Yeah, I mean, well, do scouts typically? I know they obviously look at colleges to move up to like farm teams and minor teams or whatever.
That kid was in like 7th grade.
But this kid is, I guess he's like a senior in high school.
Yeah,
and he's playing with like 10th
graders
and 11th graders.
If they hear, this is with any sport, if they hear of a high school phenom, the big teams will send scouts out to look at them and try to sign them. Instead of
Clint Eastwood
going to college.
It is actually possible because my wife, in her high school, she actually went to school with Sonny Gray, which he was really, really good in high school. And they actually, I think it was, I forgot what team it was, but he ended up being drafted by the Yankees as a pitcher. But he, it was right out of high school. He's getting scouted, but he's like, no, I want to go to college and then do that first before I actually go to the major leagues.
And that's
I don't doubt it
at that time.
So I know it can happen. Yeah.
No, I don't doubt at all that kids get scouted. I'm doubt that if you're playing, you would have like that disparity of players on a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got some guys that are like, especially on the Atlanta Braves. I mean, you've got guys that are out there that have been there, done that, gone through college, done the minor league stuff, and then finally get into the major leagues. And then here comes this high school pipsqueak, like, who the hell are you? You can't even hit a curveball,
You've got guys that'll play in the minors for 20 years, or not 20 years, but like
a long time.
10 years, and then get called up for one game towards the end of the season, and that's it.
Right. And you bat once or twice.
Then they're back to the minors.
Yeah.
Well, this kid was a douche.
He was a douche.
Yeah, he was. He was a jerk.
He gets the official douchebag button.
Excuse me! Earth to losers! I'm trying to do my visualizing. I'm hitting homers, I'm signing endorsement deals, I'm banging chicks. Respect my space.
They did a good job of making me not like this guy right out from the outset.
For sure.
When you meet him. And it was a little bit, like we said, kind of cliche, right? When we first meet the peanut boy and he throws it, I'm like, okay, so this is who they're actually going to end up scouting at the end of the movie.
It's like
that was my first thought.
Oh yeah.
I
think if my minor complaint is the score that they hit you over the head with like the score all the time, my major complaint is this movie is very predictable.
Yeah,
very predictable.
Yeah. And they actually didn't have an actual composer do this. It was
just stock music.
It was a music department that played stuff for this film. So I mean, they didn't not an actual labeled composer. It's just a conductor and his band. So very low budget on that one.
Well, since we're talking about predictability, did you guys see when it went from like 0 to 100 like super quick at the end, where they basically said that she was being abducted in a shed at the end?
Yes.
Like that
like what a twist.
Yeah, that twist went from 0 to 100 to me. I was not expecting that at all. It felt super out of place. I'm like, holy crap. I thought he was going to say something like, I've been pushing it away because they've already established that his wife has passed away.
Right.
I thought he was going to say, I've been pushing you away because you remind me too much of your mother. Simple, easy, emotional.
Yeah, easy right in.
Yeah. But then they go to this, they say, no, we're going to take a left at Albuquerque, and we're going to have her being molested by some guy in a shed that Clint Eastwood beats the shit out of.
I sent you out, and then I started beating the shit out of this guy. I smashed his head against the wall. I started hitting him with everything I had.
They did do a really good job of his looks. It's like, I think they actually took his image from another movie like masked it out, and like that was young Clint Eastwood, and I was like, wait, that's got to be from like a Dirty Harry movie or something, because they
took it from Foxfire.
Oh wow, okay, nice. Because I'm like, there's no way that's CGI. That's ripped from another movie.
But yeah, they I didn't see it coming either the first time I saw. I mean, I figured the shed would factor in, because before that he had a there was
And a vision.
menacing music with the shed right in a memory.
Mm.
But I mean, you don't know it's going to go that way. And I think it's kind of it could be seen as out of place, but it also could be seen as they wanted to jar you because Amy Adams doesn't remember it.
Yeah,
and it
maybe.
was that they were probably trying to, I'm hoping anyway, that they were trying to elicit a feeling from you that Amy Adams was feeling. So that character is supposed to be feeling at that at
Well,
that point in time.
I mean, it's
It
possible.
immediately goes back down to zero. It goes 0 to 100, right back to 0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You know,
for
it's like,
sure.
hey, let's just never mention this again. Okay. Where did Amy Adams find the peanut pitcher guy? I don't know if I just missed that, but I know she walks up. She looks like she's just walking on a random road and some guy pitching.
He was part of
she
the
was in his
family in the
hotel room.
motel.
She was in her hotel room. Yeah,
okay.
and
Yeah,
he
okay.
was
Yeah. Well,
pitching
so
to
yeah,
his
she did
brother.
kind of just walk out of her hotel room and then across the road.
Because she heard it. She heard the
That's
curveball.
terrible.
Yeah.
Just
She heard it,
unbelievable.
Ron.
But we've got
I
all-star
don't need to
talent at the
see.
Days Inn over here. Well, whoops, we didn't hire them.
They leave the light on for you.
Yeah.
Or, stayed at the Holiday Inn or whatever, and you learned how to play baseball.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
Stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I'm not a professional baseball player, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he'd go up there and throw it, and that dude would absolutely crush it. Like, crush the home run. It's like anything not predictable. I'll take anything.
He
I don't
can
even
hit a
care if the
curveball. Shit.
jerk ends up winning. Just give me something.
It's a
So,
grand slam, too. So,
Yeah.
it's
Dude's like, you haven't even seen his curveball yet, and he's like completely whiffed on every pitch. And it's like, okay, throw your curveball. I was begging for those Roombas.
what
I was like,
a callback.
yeah, like show me anything.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? Is this a yay or nay? Are we recommending to our viewers to watch Trouble with the Curve?
I'll go first. Okay, if you're wanting to watch a baseball movie, I wouldn't actually recommend this. There are plenty of other baseball movies, like scouting movies, especially. We were talking about Moneyball. Moneyball would be a way better movie than this one as a scouting movie. As a feel-good family movie, if you're just wanting to like, oh, this is so nice, at the end and have that feel-good moment, you would actually watch this movie. But if it's baseball, no, I wouldn't watch this.
Okay. Rowan, what do you think?
I would not recommend this. Sure, if you want a feel good movie where every single thing is going to work out perfectly and it's all telegraphed, sure, you can watch that. But yeah, this is the third movie I've done on here, and both Hocus Pocus 2 and Hellraiser are far better films than this. So the acting is great. That's what's weird. The acting is good. The relationship between the two main characters is really good, but the overall story, I mean, I almost guessed the whole story in the 15 minutes. I was like, oh, she's gonna quit her job and she's gonna work for the Braves, and he's going to retire and he's gonna get her position. And basically that's what happens, right? And then Justin Timberlake just is atrocious in this movie. He himself is not acting bad, but that storyline with Justin Timberlake is right out of the Hallmark card section,
Oh yeah.
The Hallmark Movie Channel.
It's a big old no from me.
Okay, John.
I'm gonna say yes, because I do like the movie, and it is cliche, and it is predictable, but I think for people who aren't movie critics, right, who aren't going to be really critical of a film, I think it'd be a good watch. I'd recommend it.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna do a little split here. I would recommend this if you're looking for something that's easy to watch and that's mildly entertaining. I think it's got a couple of laughs in it. I think it's a little long for what it's doing because of, like we all said, it was a little bit predictable and all. But I think it's like a one-time watcher. I don't think I would ever go back and go, hey, it's a good movie, Trouble with the Curve. Let's watch that. I'd rather watch a Neil Breen film.
Ooh, dang.
Drunk.
Ow. Oh my god.
But I would. But like
Let's
I
be
said,
honest though, you'd rather watch any movie drunk.
yes, that's true.
So-
You would actually make people watch a movie drunk.
That's true too.
and tell them all about it
Yeah, it'd be
while
more
they're
predict-
watching it.
It'd be more predictable than Trouble with the Curve.
Part of the problem is it's just so safe that
Right.
for certain types of people like myself and probably Justin, is it's so safe it doesn't do anything. It just kind of exists. I need something, even if I don't like it, like push me in a direction to feel about it. And it's just, you can just put this movie on in the background and you wouldn't even know if your TV was on or not. There's
That's known as trouble with the curve.
So that does it for Trouble with the Curve. The next movie that we're going to be talking about to continue our sports month is going to be a new movie called Hustle. It's on Netflix. It stars Adam Sandler, and we're basically going to compare a basketball scout, which is Hustle, and the baseball scout of Clint Eastwood in Trouble with the Curve. So we will see you guys next Saturday. Thanks for watching.
See ya.